I'd like to call the Berry Parish Council meeting to order, April the 22nd, 2020. It is now 6:07. To remind everyone to silence their cell phones, we'll begin with roll call. Brenda, roll call.
Tommy Pollard, Michael Landry,
Here.
Brad Davis,
Here.
Lloyd Brown, Warren Gottesang,
Here.
Natalie Broussard,
Here.
Paul Landry,
Here.
James Trahan,
Here.
Scott Rossonay,
Here.
Eugene Olivier,
Here.
Brian Napier,
Here.
Lady Fortnett Brown, Marty Trahan,
Here.
Tad Macharan.
Here.
Scratch Marty. Marty's not here. He's here in spirit. Thank you, Marty. Okay, we're going to have the prayer by Chad and the pledge by Brian. Please rise.
Jesus Christ, when you walked the earth, you traveled the countryside through towns and villages, curing every disease and illness among the people. At your command, all who approached you in illness were made well, made whole. Now, Lord, we implore you to blanket our world with your love, your healing presence. Open the hearts of all turned back to you in their hearts and seek you in all things. We pray that for all who have been infected and affected by the coronavirus may find their strength in you. For those who have died, may they find their rest in you. Guide the leaders of all nations to work together for the family of man, working to help all in need out of love for all mankind. Give grace, courage, and strength to all the medical professionals who put their well-being in harm's way for the sake of others. We pray for your guidance through the waters of uncertainty and for a sense of your presence as we place our trust in you. Gracious God and Father, may this crisis bring your healing presence to a wounded world so that mentally, spiritually, and physically we may. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Brian. We'll go ahead and do roll call. We did roll call already?
We did.
How did I jump that? Okay, now going into, before we get started, who's on the line right now? Recognize yourself?
Marty. Trahan.
Lord.
Larry there?
Larry. Larry Richard.
And Reed, I know you there, right?
Reed Bujo, Director of Planning and Zoning.
Okay, anyone else?
Brenda Bergeron, Clerk of the Council.
Okay, anyone else?
Scott Sonia.
Okay, Scott? Anybody else? Okay, good, we'll go ahead and move on. Tonight's public comment would normally be read, but I don't have any written public comment that was sent into the clerk's office before the deadline today at 4:30. There was one comment sent, but it wasn't meant for the agenda tonight, so it's gonna be forwarded to the Mosquito Control Board. I need a motion to go into public comments in a second.
Move.
Moved by Natalie, second by Chad. Roll call. Signify, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it, so be. Comments from the general public on non-agenda items, there is none. Comment from the general public on agenda items, there is none. I need a motion to go back in the regular section.
Move.
Moved by Natalie, I need a second. Second by Chad. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it, so be. Reports, finance, and administrative action. Number 1, balance sheet for December 2019, preliminary, and January and February 2020 on request. Number 2, Budget report for December 2019, preliminary, and January and February 2020 on request. Reports, parish and other governmental agencies. Iberia Parish Abatement District 2019 annual report, that was in your package. 2, monthly billing report dated March 2020, that was in your package also. Public work report, there is none. Special business, there is none. Council member announcements. Chad?
Need to recognize a couple of members of the council. Maison Teche Nursing Center sent in a letter to the council clerk and wanting to thank Eugene Olivier and Brian Napier for supplying some meals. It says, we would like to thank council members Eugene Olivier, District 10, and Brian Napier, District 11, for providing meals on Friday, April 10th to all of our staff. With everything going on and the hard work of our staff is putting out, it was greatly appreciated. Thank you for thinking and caring for our frontline workers. Good job, guys. Brian, I'd like to see
Thank
that.
you.
Good job, Brian.
Anybody else?
Yeah,
Brian, recognize Brian.
kind of on that, I'm sorry, what?
You can go in the mic
I
and speak loud.
talk
Yeah.
loud, there's no way that y'all not gonna hear me. And I just wanna take this opportunity to, kind of, I mean, we were being thanked, but I wanna take this opportunity to thank, the people that are actually out there, you know, risking their lives out there with the hospital, even at the grocery stores, and the restaurants, and, you know, to keep this parish moving. I know it's at a snail pace, but I just want to take this opportunity to thank, especially the hospital, the nursing home nurses, and all those people that are doing a wonderful job, risking their lives to keep us all safe. Ambulances,
First responders.
first responders, firemen, all of that. You know, just a thank you, and from I'm sure from all of us for what they do. Law enforcement, to not knowing who they're battling out there. It's like the president says, it's an invisible enemy we fighting. So thank you to all of those people that are on the front lines. Thank you, Eugene.
Thank you, Brian.
Mr. Chairman, I know this has been tough for a lot of people, our residents, our business owners. It seems like every time we turn around, most of us are getting calls from the businesses with uncertainties or what's happening, what's the plan. And I'm hoping that the parish president can give us a little bit during his announcements of, what to look forward to within the next couple of days for business owners. I did learn coming here tonight that another business has decided to close in the city of New Iberia. So, as much as we keep hearing about stimulus money, there's a lot of small businesses who are not qualifying for stimulus money, and that will not be able to make it through this infection. I would just ask council members, just keep them in your prayers. I know at the end of the day, as hard as our job is sometimes, it's a little harder to get those taxes going for us during the economical times like it is. However, I think we need to start watching what we're doing here. We've been talking about our current, I guess, state of the economy has not really recovered what it was back in 2008 and 9 and so on and so forth. We got some pressing issues that'll be coming up where we're gonna be tasked with a tough decision that won't be popular, and we all don't wanna make it, but we're gonna have to. And I'm sure Larry's working on a plan right now. So I just wanna call us all together, set aside our differences as what we believe politically or partisan, and work together with the parish president to get some relief of whatever we can do as far as the parish government to help out our businesses and our residents. So I just wanted to reiterate that. I know Larry's listening. This is a time for us all to come together. And we should stick together from now on to make sure that the people put first. So with that being said, I relinquish my time.
Thank you, Warren. Anyone else? Okay, there's no one else. We'll go ahead and move on. Parish President report. Larry?
Yes, how y'all doing? Can you hear me, Eugene?
Yes.
Okay. First, I want to start off. I have a few things to report here tonight, but first, I want to start off by thanking the Iberia Medical Center. The Iberia Medical Center have done an unbelievable job working and coordinating efforts with parish government, keeping us informed, collaborating on things that's happening at the hospital. I mean, they have done a phenomenal. And I want to make sure that we give some thanks to them. The next thing, of course, I want to make sure that we thank all of the first responders and everyone else that's involved in what's going on. But I don't want to hang up the phone with thanking the businesses that we have in Iberia as well, because we have a lot of businesses that's doing a lot of things to make sure that they're having their employees coming to work and keeping those businesses running. Most of you already know that I'm holding several phone calls per week and on several phone calls per day. We're holding the Region 4 teleconference on Mondays and Thursdays, and that particular meeting, we learn everything that's going on in the region. We have the Louisiana Department of Health and Hospital on that call, the governor's office, Homeland Security, all the parish presidents, mayors, and the list just goes on. I'm also having phone calls, different briefings throughout the week with the White House on what's actually going on and what they're recommending that we do. I have phone calls that I deal with NACO, the National Association of County Officials, to make sure that we are trying to get things that we need to keep our parishes, and of course they talk about counties as well. As you know, right now there have been several bills that have been passed from Washington, and we have been working really hard to try to get some local dollars for government. I mean, as of right now, we got some pretty decent bills that have been passed for small business and individuals, and that's a great thing. But government will certainly have a budget shortfall. We recognize it. I've written letters to Senator Cassidy, Senator Kennedy, Congressman Higgins, to the governor's office, and all of them is aware of what's going on. In fact, I did write letters individually for Iberia Parish, but we also wrote letters from the region, making sure that everyone, from our delegate, as well as on the state level. Finances in Iberia Parish, I can expect us to have some serious shortfalls. As you know, most people, or a lot of people, don't realize what parish government is. A lot of people think parish government is about, doing the roads and the bridges and taking care of the water line and the sewer lines. But a lot of people don't realize that we are mandated, we're obligated to fund, like the district attorney's office for some of their operation, the clerk of court, the tax assessor's office, the register of voters office, the jail, and all of those expenses. We for the most part, we don't have a dedicated tax for any of that. So we just make it through the budget that we currently have. And of course, for this year, we're already budgeted everything. So these entities are already feeling that the money is there. But when you pass it, when the council pass a budget, they pass a budget for not only expenditures that have to go out, but they predict what's going to come in. And we're going to have some shortfalls. So we're working on that right now with the state delegation. We're working on it with with the mayor. So we have a lot of things going on to where we're trying to keep that in place. As far as Public Works, of course, is doing, for the most part, the same thing they have always done. I do not have a district-by-district report that I'm going to report tonight. This is a little bit different setup where we're doing everything virtual. So I don't want to. Hold on one second, guys.
We lost you for
I'm getting so many texts. Excuse me?
Go ahead. Speak in your phone.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. So anyway, with that said, we are working to start putting our parish back to work. I guess most of you know about that. In the meeting that I had earlier today with the parish council, all of you that was on the phone, I think we might have had 3 parish councilmen that wasn't able to attend the weekly parish council teleconference. I'm planning on making an announcement later tonight on what it is that we're doing. We we'll definitely put an announcement out tonight for trying to get businesses back to work. It's actually starting this past Sunday. I put together a meeting. We had about 24, 25 people on the phone. That particular meeting consisted of Iberia Medical Center, the healthcare staff, the Department of Health and Hospital. Again, we had the Sheriff Department, all of the mayors, the City Police Department. We had 6 different business owners. In fact, we had one of the council members on that committee as well, and Brian Naker actually participated in that with us. And I appreciate everything you had, Brian, and all of the input that you gave. And so I actually finished with all of the information that I received from that particular meeting, and I put together a announcement that we're going to do tonight to try to get businesses back into Iberia Parish. Now, in saying all of that, all of you guys that's sitting down there, you already know that we do not supersede the governor. We do not supersede the president of the United States. And we're putting things in place simply because I personally feel in Iberia Parish we have a lot of businesses here that falls in the middle that decided to shut their business down for a couple of reasons. Some of them told me they just was too concerned at the time when all of this came up. They wanted to take cautions for their employees and for the customers. And I can't make them go back and open their business because it's not a parish government business. But I certainly want them to realize that if they fall within the parameters that's set forth by the governor with what he have on his orders and what the president have on his orders, and what we have in Iberia Parish, they certainly can do that. But they still going to have to obey the orders that the governor and the president have. But tonight, at some point in time, you're going to get an email from me prior to me actually making this announcement public. I'm actually putting everything that you're going to have in this email on our website. So as we speak, Mike Prejean is getting everything together on the website. So when business owners decide to try to gather information about what it is that they can and can't do, it's all available for them on the website. So that's going to happen later this evening. In fact, I want to pass one more thing. Before I got everything squared away, I sent it to the governor's office. I spoke to the legal advisor for the governor, one of the governor's attorneys, and they agree with everything that we're doing, and we're within lines with the mission that the governor have, and we're in line with the mission that the president have. So with that said, I'm pretty done for tonight, I guess.
I got a question for you, G.
We have a question for you, Larry, by Warren.
Absolutely.
Can
Okay.
you hear us, or does it have to be close to the? Can you hear?
Speaking to Mike.
Tell them come a little closer to the phone.
Larry, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. You know, I understand what you said and all of that good stuff. And importantly, the shortfalls that you mentioned.
Now, Mark, you're going to have to come a little closer to the mic, Warren.
Can you hear me now, Larry?
Go ahead, Warren. Yeah.
Okay, so importantly, going back to the budget shortfalls, I remember you mentioned something about possibly getting dollars from the federal government, or maybe possibly the state. Some money will be trickling down from the federal government in the stimulus package. That money that they're talking about, is that money going to go to the governor, or is it going to be divided amongst the parishes that you were talking about? I was under the impression that the governors would make the decisions of the $400+ million. Is that correct?
Okay. There are a few things going on right now. The first CARES Act, the money that came in was about $1.8 billion. We were hoping that we was going to actually get some of the funds from that $1.8 billion, and we may. In fact, we wrote letters to the governor requesting that we do, but the governor is in complete control, as far as I know, and it's very tough to read through weeds with this particular CARES Act bill. There's over 800 pages of reading. But the best that I can get from it, and you can probably talk to legal and it may be on the phone or whatever the case is. If not, the best thing I can say right now is that the governor is the one that's going to make the decision as to who's going to get money, if any parish get it, is coming from that. Now, there are a couple of other bills that took place through the CARES Act, and one was approved, I think it was yesterday, where hold on, make sure. I keep getting these calls coming in. One was passed by the Senate on yesterday, I think it was, that was a 3.5. And in that particular bill, it was language to specifically give money to parishes. In fact, I think Louisiana would have received some 400 and something million dollars. And based on the calculations that they had, Iberia Parish would have received some $6 million. That failed. Now there's going to be another one that's going to be coming out. I think that one is going to be called 4.0 bill. And language is in that bill again for parishes. And the way that one sounds, Warren, and you don't know anything until it passed, but that one have the support of the president, to my knowledge, from what I'm getting from NACO. So we're just going to have to wait and see when that bill is going to come up, when it's going to be voted upon, and will there be direct monies for the parishes, and that's what we're hoping for.
Okay, I got a second question.
Hopefully,
for you,
I
Larry.
answered it.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
The second question I have for you, as far as the state-funded programs, and our capital outlay, we talked about, ARA, we're moving some money tonight in the EDD district. Are you hearing anything about state-funded projects possibly being cut?
No, sir, not at all. The budget for this year is there. The state, honestly, well, I can't tell you, I'm not a state representative, but the stimulus dollars that they're sending to the state, out of the $1.8 billion, the last number I heard is that the state had already spent like $800 million of that 1.8 on just Corona stuff. So I would have to assume that they're doing it that way. They're not taking money that was already budgeted for something. They're taking that money from the CARES Act dollars.
So capital outlay should be secured then?
Capital outlay should be secured. In fact, we sent the last documentation we had from Iberia Parish government to Mr. Lee Wednesday. It could have been last Thursday or Friday or whatever. And everything is on go. In fact, everything is on go for our bid, if we can have the bid opening for the airport access road next month as well.
Okay. I guess my last thing is more or less a comment, and Larry, I mean, we all see it about the sales taxes and all that good stuff. It seems like our sales tax base has went away overnight, and I know me and you've had a conversation on the phone about a plan. I just hope that this plan is ready to go as soon as possible, because I don't think we have much time to waste here to get a plan going. I know there's talks about you meeting with several different departments. Are you going to keep the council as far as if y'all going to maybe drift away from the original budget or come back for budget amendments? How do we stand with that?
Absolutely. In fact, we have a meeting tomorrow with all departments head, with all the directors, and we're going over everything.
Okay.
And we are going to make the decisions that we have to make. As you know, we can use the Sugarina, for example. It's completely shut down right now. There are no employees at the Sugarina. We've actually taken over the I guess you're going to call it operations if it is an operation. Scott Saunier is actually doing several things. We're doing several things with with Public Works to make sure that we keep the place as best as possible. The second, we're doing work with Parks and Rec to help us do certain things there. But listen, we're going to have to make some cuts, and as you know, we've been cutting since we started in 2016. So it's not something new to us making cuts, but we want to make smart cuts. We don't want to just go across and say, let's cut this, let's stop that, because every cut that we're going to make, the people of Iberia Parish, those are services that they will no longer get. Because right now, Warren, you get phone calls just like I get a ton of them. I want my roads done. I want my whatever done. And we, every time we let a person go, it takes that much longer to get that road passed. It takes that much longer to do work because there's no one there. So, but we have to make the decisions that we make. I mean, I like to say I try to manage this parish as much as a business as I possibly can. And you make the cuts that you have to make, but you have to understand, not you have to understand, but the general population is going to have to understand that as we make these cuts, some of the services that we are accustomed to, you may get them, but it may take a little bit longer for you to get them.
Correct. And it won't be easy,
anyway.
and it won't be popular.
So
Yep. I'm good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, it won't be popular, but we have to, not a problem. It won't be popular, but we have to do what we have to do to keep this parish moving, And one thing that we need to do to keep this parish moving is try to make sure that business owners that have business that fall within the parameters where they could be open, hopefully they're going to open them. So anyway, thank you, Warren.
Okay, anyone else? Larry, thank you, Larry. Appreciate it.
That was it. Thank you, guys.
Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda items for public hearing and adoption. Regular meeting on March the 11th, 2020. Summary number 41, introduced by the Airport Authority, a resolution declaring various equipment and surplus properties and further authorize disposal of same in accordance with parish policies and state laws, as requested by the Iberia Parish Airport Authority. Summary number 42, introduced by the parish president, a resolution ratifying the parish president execute of substantial completion to Iberia Parish Government Courthouse minor interior renovation, first and second floor, all as completed by Minville Davis Construction, LLC, and as recommended by Architects Design Studio. Summary number 43, introduced by Eugene Olivier Senior, District 10, a resolution of condolence to the family of Mr. Reggie Bagala, Louisiana State Representative, who passed away on April the 9th, 2020. I need a motion and a second for the consent agenda item. Moved by James Trahome, second by Natalie Broussard. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Ordinance introduced for public hearing and adoption. There is none. We'll move on to the resolutions. Summary number 44, introduced by Brian Napier, District 11. A resolution amending the 2020 royalty fund budget in the amount of $5,000 to appropriate Gulf of Mexico Energy Security Act GOMESA funding for costs and obligations related to the study, planning, and presentation of the Coastal Historical Hydraulic Restoration Project, CCHHRP, and further authorize the parish president to execute an intergovernmental agreement between the St. Mary Parish Levy District, St. Mary Parish Government, the Port of St. West Mary, the Consolidated Gravity District, Drainage District Number 1 of the Parish of St. Mary, the Port of Iberia, and Iberia Parish Government for a said project. Note, motion to suspend the rules will be needed as this item was not considered recommended by the Finance Committee. So first of all, I need a motion to suspend the rules. Motion by Brian. I need a second by Natalie.
Can I make a comment, Dean?
Sure.
This is just to suspend the rules.
No,
It can only be
but I
discussion to suspend the rules.
so I
Yeah.
can't make a
Yeah,
comment.
wait
Yeah,
till
about
we
suspending
go to,
the rules.
wait till we make the motion for the resolution. After we suspend the rules, you can do that.
Well, I want to make a comment before we suspend, in case anybody had any problems with it. So I
it's-
can't, okay.
About suspending the rules?
Yeah,
He can
Well-
make a comment about the motion to suspend.
well,
Can you do, yeah, go ahead, I'll allow it.
so, look, man, okay. So my comment is, if any of y'all are hesitant about it, the way that it's written is, it's coming out of,
GOMESA,
well,
out of the royalty.
royalty fund. So a couple comments were made, and everybody's very much aware of our royalty fund. But it's actually gonna come out of GOMESA funds that's in the royalty fund. So it won't deplete the royalties so much as strictly GOMESA. And then we'll, if we can get to the discussion part, I just wanted to make that clear, Mr. Chairman,
Okay,
that it's actually GOMESA, it's not from our royalty fund. Thank you.
okay, we're voting on suspending a rule. We gotta have at least 10 votes to suspend the rules tonight, so everybody would have to approve of suspending the rules. Do I, like a voice motion? Anyone approving the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, so be it. Motion to suspend the rules has passed. Okay, now on the summary itself, summary number 44. I need a motion motion by Brian Napier. I need a second. Second by James Trahome. Discussion? Brian?
So, I don't know if y'all had a chance to read, there was a good bit of information that we sent to y'all, 20+ pages. What's going on? It's about the money that's being asked for is a cap of $5,000 that's going to go with these other 5 entities that's going to share in paying Fenstermaker to go to Baton Rouge when these meetings occur to try to make sure that monies are acquired when they meet in Baton Rouge and coming from CPRA. I think in 2022 is actually, if I'm not mistaken, and what it is, it's about trying to stop a lot of the fresh water that's coming in through Calumet, through the Atchafalaya, that actually comes around, and it's actually coming in through Vermilion Bay into Iberia Parish. So it would, one of the things that if the money is gotten, the money is about building a coastal barrier between Marsh Island and kind of like Burns Point in St. Mary Parish. And if we can get enough money, it's about building some locks out there by the Coven Black plants, if y'all know where that's at, by the intercoastal. So hopefully y'all had a chance to read it. It might not even cost $5 from what I've been told by the group, CCHHRP, and it's all local people, St. Mary and Iberia, that are on it. It might cost $3,000, $3,500 maybe. Our part, everybody's sharing. Whenever Fenstermaker goes to Baton Rouge, we're all sharing it. It's a very good project. A few of us met in, I think it was February, with this group, and they really gave us a good presentation. And really, what I wanted to do was have them here so y'all could see it with the map and all that was given in your packet on the screen. But because of what we're dealing with, we couldn't do that. And that's the only reason we bypassed in committee, is because we waited so long, and we the last one. If y'all notice the 6 entities that are on, I think we're the last one to approve it. So I appreciate if y'all would, hopefully y'all read it and y'all can approve it, and we'll give the parish president the authority to move forward on it with the other entities, and hopefully down the road we'll gather some money out in this good project. So thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for listening. And hopefully we can move it forward.
Thank you, Brian. Warren?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I want to rise in support of this. This is a good project that worked well with Vermilion and St. Mary Parish. I also want to say that they don't need the full 5,000 to be a draw system as they go on with the engineering. Am I correct? So, I know we were kind of scared about the Go Mesa dollars because majority of it's been dedicated for future projects. But this is something good that costs very little that we were able to work together, possibly get some money out of CPRA.
Okay. Any other council members?
Yes, Marty.
Marty, I'm sorry, you can't comment on it. James?
Yes, I'd just like to say I was at that meeting, and from what they said, the plan is it's going to help out on our drainage for flooding, but also on our fisheries also. Correct. To get salt water back into where it needs to be at, to get our oyster beds back and our fishing and shrimping industry. So that's a big plus for the economy and for our tax base. So that's why I think it's very important that we try to get this done.
Good. Thank you, James. Any other council members?
Yes, I think I should be able to comment. I can't vote on it, but I should be able to comment.
I'm sorry, the rules, because we have a quorum, you're not allowed to comment by telephone. I wish I could. bend
So
the
I
rules, but
can't participate in the conversation?
I'm sorry, you cannot at this time.
Unfortunately, you cannot.
I wish it was different, but you can't, Marty.
I'm good, but next meeting I'm showing up.
All right, thank
To
you,
let
Marty.
you know.
Okay.
Bye.
Andy, any comments? Nope? Okay, good.
I got one. I just have a question. It's mainly for
Scott?
Brian. I wanted to know what exactly are we building, or where is the water going to be diverted to? I guess because he said it's not going to come back into Niagara Parish. So it's going east of
What's
Marshall.
happening, the hydraulic study is trying to get the water to go straight out into the Gulf. Not to backfeed in Vermilion Bay.
Which way?
Yeah, so if I may.
Go ahead, Brian.
If I may. So it's, in the packet, it shows you a picture of a coastal barrier, reef, whatever you want to call it, from Marsh Island to Rabbit Island, which is Burns Point over there by the Covenant Black Plains. Plus they talking about if they get enough money to put locks in up there in the coastal by the Covenant Black Plains. And what it'll do, it'll stop, because I don't know if any of y'all fish out there or even commercial, recreation or whatever, there's so much fresh water when it's high, when it's coming down the Chaffalot, that comes in to Vermilion Bay. And James was right about keeping that water out. It'll help from our drainage system, and it'll help the fisheries. If you talk to any commercial fisherman, they'll tell you there's hardly any more oyster beds out there. There's hardly, it affects if you're a fisherman, recreational or commercial, it affects that tremendously. So it's a twofold, maybe morefold thing that we would be doing if we could get the money. And what it is, it's about keeping Fence to Maker at the table, fighting for us with the other 5 entities. I think it's a minimal amount for maybe down the road, years down the road, if we can get this thing built, it'll be a tremendous plus for St. Mary and Iberia Parish.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments from council members? Paul?
Are we gonna make a substitute motion to move into the Go Mesa money, or are we gonna leave it like this, coming out of royalty?
That's what you're doing. Go Mesa is a line item in royalty.
It is coming from Go Mesa, the way I understand it.
Okay.
Larry?
Yes. Yes, it's actually, it's a line item, Paul. The Go Mesa dollars go into a line item that shows royalty, but it would be a separate line. Kim's not on the phone right now, take it?
No.
It would be a separate line item where we would put that $5,000.
So he makes a good point, if I may. Should we word it, or you feel that it's worded good enough to make sure it doesn't? Because I do not want it to just come out of the royalty fund. I want it to come out of Go Mesa line item, right, Larry?
No, it's not going to come out the royalty, what you're thinking of. Okay. The money that come in from Go Mesa goes into an account, like a line item that says royalty.
Okay.
But we would actually take that $5,000 and she would make a different line item, the way I'm understanding it, for that particular $5,000. And another thing you need to understand is we're saying $5,000, spending $5,000 to do this. This is something that's been discussed for, I don't know, Marty can't talk, but Eugene's been at these meetings. We've been meeting in St. Mary Parish, which it seemed like almost a year. For a long time. So this is something that's been discussed for a long time.
Thank you, Larry.
You're welcome.
Paul, anything else? Good. Everybody comfortable? Ready to vote? Okay, I need a voice roll call. Everybody supporting the resolution signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it, so be it.
Thank you.
Summary 44 passed. Summary number 45, introduced by the parish president. Introduced by the parish president, a resolution amending the 2020 parish-wide drainage fund budget in the amount of $1,084, $184,060. I don't know why I'm having trouble with these numbers tonight. To account for additional funds to be received as a result of the 2019 mosquito control drainage tax supplement distribution, and further amend the 2020 mosquito control drainage fund budget in the amount of $376,319 to provide for a surplus distribution in accordance with the sales tax proportion. Note, motion to suspend the rules would be needed for this item. It wasn't considered and recommended by the Finance Committee.
Motion to suspend the rules.
I need a motion to
Second.
suspend the rule by Warren, second by Natalie. The 10 votes, roll call.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it, so be.
I make the motion.
Now on the motion itself, Michael Landry move on the motion
Second.
itself, second by Natalie. Roll call.
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passed, so be. Summary number 45 passed. Summary number 46, introduced by Planning Commission. A resolution granting preliminary and final plat approval to the re-subdivision of properties for Kennedy Booty Olivier Family LLC into 11 tracts, subject to compliance with staff recommendations 1 through 3 and plat revision 1 through 8, located in District 13. All as reviewed and recommended by the Iberia Parish Regional Planning Commission.
Move.
Moved by
Second.
Natalie, have a second? By Brian. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Okay, comment? I'm sorry, Andy?
Should you consider tabling this until the meeting? The next item on your agenda is an introduction of an ordinance to rezone that property. So what you're doing, what you're being asked to do here is to approve a final and preliminary plat that's going to reflect the old zoning, not the new zoning. And I tried to figure out if there was any timing issue. In other words, was there some work to be done or something like that? And I'm not aware of it. It seems like to me that the best way to do it would be to pass them both at the same time so that you rezone it and then you approve the plats, preliminary and final, that then would reflect the new zoning, because it's going to be subdivided into residential lots, and so I just felt like I didn't want you to be in a position where you have to come back and amend your approval of your final and preliminary plat because you didn't have it yet rezoned. Just a thought, unless somebody knows of a timing issue.
Are you referring to what summary?
I think Reed might,
46.
Yeah, rezone.
46 and 47. Oh, well, 50, 55 on the next.
55 should be voted at the next council meeting.
Right, that's what he's saying. This should be done in the next meeting
After this one.
when we do them
I
together.
don't think,
Okay.
pass them both.
With it.
Reed, are you aware of any timing matters that would,
With the latest project?
No, I've actually spoken to a representative of one of the owners, and they're aware that of the situation that it is, and they were expecting that it was possible that y'all might want to table it
Okay,
and delay it.
okay. Thank
I'll
you, Reed.
move to table this to the next
Yeah.
council meeting.
I'll
We
second
have a
that.
motion by Natalie to table, a second by Michael Landry. If no other comments, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it, so be. Motion tabled.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Natalie to adjourn, second by Warren. Meeting adjourned. We'll go right into